Welcome to the first episode of Production with Riley. Hello, my name is Riley Given, and I have always wanted to vlog and capture the creation of a song from the very beginning all the way to the final product. And I've never gotten around to it because things just happen spontaneously and it's hard to remember to pick up a camera. But I'm gonna really try this time, and yeah. So I'm making an album, and what I'm gonna start right now is the last song. And I'm currently halfway through the album, but this just seems like the easiest one to start next. So it's gonna start with guitar, but there's a couple things that have to happen before we start. So first, off camera, I was just sitting down on my bed and I was finding the key of it. I was moving my capo up and down, and then once I found a place that sounded right, I tuned the guitar so it's in perfect tuning. And then I set up my microphone right here. Don't judge. It'll turn out fine. So here's where my microphone is, and it's just sitting here, but it seems like a fine relation to the guitar to pick everything up. And then my microphone is plugged into this box, and the box is plugged into the computer, and yes, I use GarageBand. Seems to work just fine for me. Now, before we can do anything, we have to set the tempo and key of the song. So the key I decided on is E major, right here. And now for the tempo, I'm just gonna have to play the metronome and mess around. Wait, 120 actually works perfectly for this, but I have already determined that I'm going to have to record it slower and then speed it up just because the guitar is really fast. So for tempo, I actually decided on 110, and then we're going to speed it all the way up to 120, I think. That is a problem for later. So now I'm going to test out picks and see which sound I like better. Oh, they're so different. I'm imagining a bass drum. I like the more pingy one. Now I think we're ready. So I will hit record, and now in my headphones I hear the metronome. Just play, and I have to sing the song in my head, and I'm sure it'll take a couple takes. I'm not gonna go all the way through the song because I don't think there's any way I can get it perfect if I do that. So I like to take it sections at a time. Okay. That was a perfect take of the verse. So I can use that. I'm just gonna keep recording into the chorus. That's so weird. Wait, I'm gonna need some rehearsal time and try to figure out how to play this. I was making it more complicated. Okay. That's not what I rehearsed. Okay, I'm done. That's the whole guitar for the whole song. I only had to do the chorus once, which was great. It did have a different ending each time, so I recorded that off camera. I did the bridge off camera. It was pretty good. So now, this is what it looks like. All of these are different takes, so I have to like find which ones were like the right one that I was happy with. And I have to put it together and turn it into a song. All right, so now I've come up with some Frankenstein version of it all. You can see I did quite a lot to it, all those tiny cuts. A lot of it was pairing things together and also making sure it was on the metronome. It's still a little off though, so I have a theory that if I quantize it, oh, it's not here. The hack for quantizing is Shift Q. Sounds good to me right now. Yeah. Oh, I forgot a detail. I also did some volume things already that helped with merging together different sections. I had to do a fade in with that. These are different takes. And then this is just the last chord, and I wanted it to crescendo. It doesn't really sound like a crescendo, but I just didn't want it to fade away so quickly. Yeah. So part of this whole process was just singing with it. And if something felt like the wrong timing, then I would adjust it. But it's all around the song, which I know some people do differently. Some people will start with the music. My roommate does that and make sure it works really well, and then add the lyrics later. But I don't worry about music or instruments when I write a song. I kind of just follow the feelings, and the melody happens at the same time as the lyrics, which is strange, but like I kind of just hear how it should sound, you know? And then afterwards, this is kind of the process. I could look at a song and be like, that's a piano song, that's a guitar song, or like that's a very techno song. I don't know if techno is the right word, but like I probably wouldn't play a live instrument. I would do it all electronically. And once I know the core instrument of that, that's what I'll lay down first. And then, I don't know, I'll make it up as I go, honestly. Like, you can't predict what the vibe of a song is. The process for me is really spontaneous. Like, you can't plan it out. It's fun. It's creative. Oh, I was going to talk about this song. I wrote this song in Mexico, like 2 years ago. Suddenly nothing makes sense. I'm picking out old wounds. It took everything to get over you. I bent to see you as a friend. But it was a situation that happened years before that. It's kind of reflecting and being like, why is this still on my mind? Are you just going to be here forever? And I just have to accept that? That's kind of why I thought it would make a good album closer. Because it's kind of this accepting. I think that's all I have to say about that. So now that I have the guitar, the next thing I would do is just mess around with all the levels and like put filters on it. I'm just gonna try to make the guitar sound like the final product. Oh, here's another detail. I'll usually complete the production before adding any vocals. Once the production's done, I'll upload it to music, and then I'll record the vocals, and then I'll upload that to music. And then once those are separate tracks, I will make a new project and put the tracks together. Because if not, the way you would edit the vocals, if the production was still in it, it would also edit the production. If the production was finished, then you don't want to keep changing it as you mess with the vocals. Making a new track and putting them both back together will give you the sound you wanted with the production and also the sound you wanted with the vocals, and they'll just coexist together instead of like fight for the front spot. I don't know if this makes any sense. Oh, I forgot something. Turns out that this tempo is actually perfect. I was going to speed it up, but that would make the bridge way too fast. But then the beginning feels like a little slow. So I don't think I should mess with it. I can live with this tempo. I'm just going to work. What I'm going to do is go up here, and now I have the option to click acoustic guitar. I'm just going to click through and see which one sounds good. So it's either this one or this one. Actually, maybe this one. I like the pinginess, but maybe I can add that to this one. Actually, I found this other one under voice that I like a little better. So I'm gonna make all the tracks that one. So I'm gonna go under voice. It was tracking vocal. Now I have this idea right now to double it, but put the double in a higher octave. Because I just hear it in my head really high and pingy. So I'm gonna go new track, duplicate settings, copy, then I'm gonna paste it down here. Have to line it up right. I'm gonna do that with all of these. So now that everything's doubled, I'm gonna mute the first track, so I'm only looking at one right now. I'm gonna click the scissors, and then right here there's a little thing that says transpose, and I'm gonna go up to 12, which is an octave. I'm gonna do that on everyone. Okay, let's see what this sounds like. I like it. They might have to be a little lower than the main guitar. And also, before I move on, I'm going to change the track color so that I know which ones are the higher octave. Yay, colors! Let's see how it sounds. Well, now I'm missing it. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Remember how I was saying I make separate projects for production and vocals? If I do a main edit right now, I might have to have guitar be its own project and then put it in a new one for the rest of the production. I still don't know if that makes sense to you, but whatever. Something's a little off with the sound of the guitar. But instead of editing it one track at a time, here's what we're going to do. These are all, what are they called? Plugins, yeah. And I kind of figured out what plugins I use every time. I don't know. It's not necessarily that I know what they are, but I figured out what sounds good. But anyways, right now we're going to EQ. So right now I'm hearing, I don't know if bass is the word, but like I want to bring it a little more pingy and up. So that'll be the higher end over here. So I'm going to bring the purple like there. And then where's the blue? Probably going to mess with the blue, turn it up, and also make it skinny. So let's see what that did. Ooh, it's almost perfect actually. I'm going to bring up the bass though. Now I am feeling that the higher octave, is a little too pingy. So what we're going to do is go to track and turn down high, just a smidge. I'm just going to play around and put on different effects. Sure. Now, how about some reverb? There's too many options. I like it without. I don't know, like I can tell there's more I want to do with it, but I don't know what, because I'm kind of liking it. But I know it just takes like one extra thing to make it perfect. Here's something I like to play with. It's called multipressor. I just click through all of these until I like it. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, there's something about that I like, but it's a little too forward. But why don't I just turn down the high? Yeah, I like it. Yay! And then we got this going on. Perfect. So, I'm going to share to music. Looks like this. Share song to music. Actually, let's be specific. Only always guitar. Okay. Share. I'm going to file save. Create new. We have to make it the same settings. So it was 110. And then it was E major. Now, we're gonna go here. Recently added. It's gonna be the first one. And just plop it in. So, now we've got our guitar track. So now I'm just gonna, I don't know, honestly I'm gonna sing through it a couple times. And see if I hear any instruments in my head that I feel like I should put down, and that'll just tell me what to do next. So, I knew right when I wrote this, and every time I sing it, I hear it, a bass drum would come in the middle of the first verse. I bit my tongue when I found out you're a free man. I'm gonna put that in. Don't know what I'll do after, but one thing at a time. So now, don't like that. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for, but I have all these options. I'm kind of just going to go through them and see which one fits the song. Ooh. Possibly. Okay, Smash is pretty good. Ooh, Manchester. Kind of like that. It's between that and Smash. Okay. I'm gonna click Quantize, Shift Q. That'll line each beat with the metronome. So now that I have that in, I'll just copy and paste it through the whole song, I think. I'll end it right here. And now I can click loop. Woo! And then I'm gonna put that structure in probably around here. It'll come out. So split, and now comes back in like around there. Okay, so here's what's happening. I can't just loop it all the way through because it turns out the guitar isn't really in perfect timing. So if the bass drum is, then the guitar sounds off. So what I'm doing is slightly just like moving over some bass drums. I can have access to each one here. So what I'm gonna do is highlight those, just move it a tiny bit. Yeah, that's fine. So, they're not perfect, you know? It's not like it's wildly out of timing. It's kind of just giving, like, natural. Like, I'm sure if you recorded a live band, it might sound like this. It makes it more real, you know? And that will be all for the first episode. Now, what we learned today was all that went into guitar. I'm sure it was more than maybe you thought. And just wait until we get to vocals. There's so much that goes behind it that you wouldn't even think about. And also maybe this gives you an idea of why it's been taking me so long to come out with new stuff, because it takes a while, and it's also kind of something I do on the side when I have the time or the energy. So I kind of get to it when I get to it. So I'm not sure when the next episode will be, but as soon as I can work on it more, I will record it. But I promise you, I have so much music coming, and by that I mean albums, multiple. So there's just a lot on the waiting list, but I'm working on it slowly but surely. And yeah, I've always just wanted to give some insight on that and let people see what I'm working on. I will see you on the next one.